Yo, what's good? We're back with another one.
It's showtime.
What is even happening this year? Donald Trump is now reportedly working on a deal to buy Greenland. Yeah, purchase a country. And what's crazier is that America has actually tried to buy Greenland before. I mean, at the start, we all thought that Trump was joking, but now he is sending his son, along with other various representatives, to travel there today. Trump even posted last night saying, Greenland is an incredible place and the people will benefit tremendously if and when it becomes part of our nation. Bro said when. Now, while Greenland has its own government, it still remains under the Kingdom of Denmark. And in 1946, the US offered Denmark 100 million for the resource-rich island, but were swiftly rejected. And I think it's also important to note that Greenland cannot simply be purchased like real estate. Its population, although only 56,000, have the right to self-determination under international law, meaning they must consent to any major changes. But if enough people in Greenland want to be purchased by the US, who knows? Maybe a 51st state is possible. So the question is, do you think that America should buy Greenland or stay away?
The fact they can just buy a country is insane.
England just went around taking them, bro.
I'd seen the Monster Energy one before, but not Oreos and the Gmail logo.
Satanic symbolism's everywhere, bro.
He kind of scares me a little bit.
Yeah,
He has all these celebrities in his pocket. Like, everyone wants to be him. G on his channel.
Did you see? I don't know by the time this comes out, but he apparently rented out the pyramids of Egypt
What are you talking about?
for 100 hours.
I thought that wasn't legal.
I didn't know either. Apparently, he'll have full access to the pyramids for 100 hours, just him and his crew. And so they can explore any part of the pyramid they want.
What are you touching him?
That's scary.
Could you imagine?
How do you rent out the pyramid?
Also, this is the beginning of a horror
This is
movie.
what's going to happen. MrBeast is like literally going to go to like a cavern deep down to the pyramid.
And be
like,
possessed.
and then like that's like where like this ancient relic of like the Watchers is. Or
Ancient knowledge. He's gonna come back with all this ancient. Understand the knowledge of the algorithm. So wouldn't that slow? Oh, that's scary.
It is.
Kind of. Would you do that if you had free reign? Would you go?
Definitely.
Gotta go.
He's probably doing a ritual in the pyramids, bro.
I doubt it, mate. I don't think he's evil.
He's called MrBeast, bro.
Were you able to get possessions? Of course, they're really immaterial when you have your family, but I've been to your house. It was an incredible home, beautiful home. But were you able to get anything out of your house?
Not much. A few necessary things. You know, my son I said, just go and grab this and this and this. And he grabbed like 3 things and took off. And then, you know, those are okay. Stuff like passports and a couple of papers and stuff like that. But by and large, everything was just, it looked, when I got there the other day, I went up there yesterday, it looked like Dresden, you know, after Bomber Harris got through with it. Yeah.
No.
So nothing left. I know they were messing with the water, letting reserves go for one reason or another. They've been doing that a while. California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things. And then in the events like this, you sort of look, oh, is it on purpose? Which it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be, you know? Do they want the state empty?
Can't believe they let him say that on TV.
We gotta do a full episode on these fires, bro.
How much are they?
So a robot like Melody is $150,000, and that's fully AI capable and customized. But we can actually make the robot look like anything you want. You can come to us and say, we would like to give us a picture of someone, and we can make that robot customized to you, and we can customize the AI so that it knows exactly what you want it to know. So it can learn about your company, it can learn about your product,
Okay.
or it can be your girlfriend.
Are we gonna be like, this is my God, this is my family member?
Well, you could. We always say you can take our robots as a date to a wedding. We have this here on display for people to touch, so you can give that a feel and see how that feels. These faces are all modular, so we could actually take the faces off Melody and Aria, throw this one on top. It's all magnetized or special technology. Press a button, and then you have a different robotic character. This allows us to provide flexibility for our clients if they change their minds and they want a different character. We can design a different face for them, and then they can add that on very easily.
Are they easy to swap? How long does it take to swap?
It takes about 10 seconds. You just peel it off and then put the other one on. It's our patented system with
The shit's getting out of hand.
AI's gonna rule the world, bro.
I don't think people realize this, but we are witnessing the greatest change in the way that videos are edited and created. You see, Premiere Pro and CapCut are linear. Their timelines move left to right. But Runway ML just released this new demo, and they are calling it nonlinear exploration. This is how it works. You start with an AI-generated image on Runway, and then you will generate a new image that will be a future frame of the video. Then you connect these together, and AI will generate all of the frames that come between the starting image and the ending image. But this is where it gets interesting. This new Runway feature will allow you to create alternative video universes, allowing users to diverge from the linear path, and you'll be able to visually compose every pixel to match your idea, and you'll be able to test all of the different timelines. And you'll be able to press play and view any timeline that you want down here at the bottom part of the screen. Other tools like Kyber and Adobe are building similar products, but Runway seems to be the most advanced. And as soon as I get access, I'll do a deep tutorial, so follow for that.
I think we're going to start seeing non-linear films, where you can watch it and the story will be different every time.
Cinema's dead, bro.
A filmmaker is launching a completely AI-driven movie studio. Hi, I'm Alex from Pop Culture Brain, and this is Stage Runner, your source for what's shooting and where. Artificial intelligence is top of mind for a lot of people these days, especially in Hollywood, and now one filmmaker is going to put it to use in a major way. Generative AI filmmaker Dave Clark just announced that he's launching a new content studio that will make films, series, and other media with generative AI and artists that use it. This new company is planning to use proprietary software to make original stories for global audiences. Clark explained, Gen AI filmmaking is a creative process that combines the expertise of skilled artists, hybrid workflows, and a collaborative production environment. Our goal is to cultivate a space where storytellers from all backgrounds can explore bold ideas, take risks, and push the boundaries of storytelling. Clark previously made the viral AI short film Battalion about black soldiers who landed on the beach at D-Day. He explained at a recent panel discussion with IndieWire that using AI to make movies is not this idea of replacing, it's this idea of augmenting us as filmmakers and giving us a superpower to really show our vision. Speaking of which, indie studio Blumhouse is partnering with Meta on AI technology, and has tapped directors Anish Chaganty, the Spurlock sisters, and Casey Affleck to test out Meta's new AI tool, Meta Movie Gen. According to IndieWire, the tool uses simple text prompts to produce videos and sounds, or quote, edit existing videos or photos. And these directors are already at work making short films with the technology. Essentially, this is a PR and marketing effort by Meta that's leveraging real filmmakers in order to show audiences, as well as entertainment industry professionals, what this tech can do.
Told you, bro. Cinema's gonna be dead real soon.
People still take photos on film and listen to music on vinyl, so I think people will always make linear films.
Who do you think really runs the world?
You're going to go there, huh, with the question. So I used to ask the question, I said, who's got the most power in America? You'd be amazed how few people say president, because they come and go. Famous quote with Putin that he says, you know, American presidents, you don't have to worry about it. They're going to be there 4 to 8 years. Some suits run the country behind closed doors. Is it Congress? Is it the CEOs of virtual governments? We're talking Google, Twitter, Facebook, Amazon, or is it billionaires, the most richest men in the world? Who's got the most power? So let's go process and dissect some of these guys that make all the money in the world. You become a billionaire, and you're still dangerously ridiculously ambitious. And you're like, well, I want more control. I want more power. What if I can take over the world? Think about what things people are most addicted to. Video games, party. But what's one of the most addicting things? Power. Are you kidding me? Having a lot of power and getting people that look at you that are afraid of you. Some people love that. Those people, I believe, are out there. Some of them are 100% money people because money talks. There's a lot of those guys that are the brains behind the faces that we see. And most of the times, the best EF Huttons, no one ever finds out who those guys are.
It's BlackRock, right?
If you haven't seen our episode on BlackRock, go and check it out.
Yeah, let's move into that. What do you know about that?
A lot. They had a big old Xerox of this document that was a wiretap of Marilyn Monroe dated a couple of days before they found her dead. And it was signed by the CIA guy, James Jesus Angleton III. Now, he was a famous fanatical mole hunter and leak stopper at the agency back in the early 60s. A fanatical. And they had wiretapped Marilyn Monroe's phone, and she was calling up Bobby Kennedy and a friend of hers named Rothberg in New York, who's an art dealer, saying that she was going to hold a press conference to tell the whole world what Kennedy had told her, quoting the objects from outer space from the 40s found in New Mexico. Conference, tell the world about what Jack Kennedy told her during Pillow Talk about the ET issue. So I have that document.
He's a plant, right?
I don't know, he seems pretty legit. What do you guys think?
Is Neptune going to be the new TikTok? So will we be a video feed format? Yes, that will be like TikTok. Will you be able to go live? Yes, that will also be like TikTok. Will you be able to customize your profile a la MySpace? Yes, that's not like TikTok. Will you be able to organize your content and other people's content into playlists that you can share or save? Yes, not like TikTok. Will you be able to add a music playlist to your profile? Yes, not like TikTok. Will we be taking 50% of your monies when you monetize? No, not like TikTok.
Looks like everyone's racing to be the new TikTok if it gets banned.
TikTok ain't going nowhere, bro.
A lot of people in the United States, both in the United States and in the world, are extremely concerned about the potential onset of World War III. Now, one of the most strategic locations in the entire world when it comes to conducting World War III, especially from a NATO standpoint, is the country of Romania. In fact, NATO is currently building the biggest ever base ever to be built in Europe. And the candidate for president, the oncoming candidate for president in Romania, is trying to stop that because he wants peace. Now, he won the first round with 23% of the vote, only to have Romania freeze the election due to Russian influence, which they provided zero evidence. So, we came to Romania to interview the presidential candidate ourselves and get the story out. A lot of alarming stuff in this interview. It'll be out next week. Pay attention.
We need to start stocking up on supplies, bro.
I don't think we need to panic just yet.
I can see how that could be confusing.
So part 2 of Los Angeles turning into San Angeles. What else did they predict? Well, they predicted tablets and video calling, and we have tablets and video calling. They predicted the VR headsets, and we have VR headsets. They also predicted electric self-driving cars, and we have electric self-driving cars. They also accurately predicted just how dangerous the battery cells would be.
Going for the vehicle's battery core. Short capacitance gel.
Here's some real-world examples, and this third one is mad. Boom! Now, they also predicted that these awesome electric self-driving cars would actually malfunction, and as much as they had loads of awesome extra safety features, it was still the old-school cars that did the job. Reyes also predicted CCTV to be watching us everywhere.
Notice it, everybody, stay!
And not only do we have CCTV, but we walk around with cameras on the front and the back of these things that we hold everywhere we go. They also predicted incompetent police.
Simon Phoenix, lie down with your hands behind your back.
And we have incompetent police in the year 2025.
He said I'm aggressive.
Excuse me. He?
You? Yeah.
I'm a female police officer, and I find that offensive.
Do you?
I do, yes.
Oh, I'm so scared. What are you gonna do?
I'll tell you what I'm
gonna do. What are you gonna do?
We're police officer. We're not trained to handle this kind of violence.
You're repeated violation of the verbal morality statute.
Then there's the censorship. The only thing we don't know is what the 3 seashells are for.
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
People keep asking for a Simpsons predictions episode, bro.
From now on, we're going to be releasing 2 episodes a week. One like this, and one deep dive. And we're also going to be releasing the members episode as standard.
If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for?
How the hell are you going to prepare them for the real world if you're always homeschooling your kids and mollycoddling them and they can decide what they're going to do? What they're going to do when they have a real job?
I think it's the complete opposite.
What?
How is school the real world? How can you compare a classroom to the real world?
Obedience.
Why should we be obedient?
Who wants you to be obedient? How interesting. What entrepreneurs aren't born from obedience, are there?
No.
But we are taught to kind of be obedient, because, right, you have to listen to your...
Who does that suit? Kind of school came at the same time as the Industrial Revolution, and they wanted to create workers that would fit into the system. And I don't necessarily share this view, but there are comparisons of the school system to prisons. And if you look at the buildings and the way that you have to ask for permission for things, you have certain times, you have breaks for things, everything is set into a certain time frame, and you have an authority to figure everything within that. They kind of compare them.
I think soon kids are going to have personalised AI teachers, and they won't have to go to school for that. So social interactions for them will become just being with other kids and playing. They won't be locked in a room together all day. Has to be better.
They need to change schooling, but not with AI.
Sainsbury's is saying it's going to push up the price of fresh food because of the national insurance increase. They're saying that's going to slap them with a £140 million wage bill. They did make £1 billion profit last year, though, so let's not weep too many tears for Sainsbury's. Of course, they're an important business in the United Kingdom. Nothing wrong with making profit. I'm not saying let's all go down the road of communism here, but couldn't they afford to shave 140 million off? Do they have to pass all of it on to us as consumers?
They're taking the piss.
They're hiding the Arla labels now, bro.
Boycott Asta, hidden Arla logo on bottom, wait until the end to see. No mention of any Arla-related products on any of the labels, hidden in plain sight. It's only visible when colored in.
This is getting ridiculous. How can they be allowed to hide the logo like that? Especially while people are boycotting them.
They can do whatever the fuck they want, bro.
His name is John Wayne Gacy.
Well, John Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy.
I don't believe I killed anybody, but yet I know I did.
Outwardly, John Wayne Gacy was a respected figure in 1970s suburban Chicago, known for his successful business, politics, and entertaining young children as the Jolly Clown Pogo. Yet behind the facade, he was one of history's most prolific serial killers. In 1968, Gacy was sentenced to 10 years behind bars for sodomy, after having inappropriate relationships with 2 high school boys. The punishment was meant to serve as a deterrent at the time, but no one knew that this was just the beginning. Gacy was granted parole in 1970, just serving 18 months.
For the next 8 years, Gacy would have a plethora of young men coming and going from his home at all hours of the night, some to never be seen or heard from again. Smells would radiate from his home, which he masked using concrete and lime. Police had been tracking Gacy for nearly 3 years before the murder of 15-year-old Robert Peast sealed his fate. At the end of 1978, Gacy admitted to his lawyer that he had tortured and killed more than 30 young men. Investigators would unearth the remains of 29 bodies on Gacy's property and another 4 in the rivers southwest of Chicago. He was indicted for all 33. He was given the death penalty in 1980, and his execution was set for May 10, 1994. On that day, he reported to be in a chatty mood and enjoyed a last meal of fried chicken, shrimp, fries, and strawberries. The 52-year-old was put to death just after midnight by lethal injection.
Let us know in the comments if you guys want to see some more true crime deep dives this year.
We gotta do one on the Zodiac Killer, bro.
And it's inevitable. You know, it seems like it's on this march, and there's not a lot we're going to be able to do to stop that march. Just we got to hope that the right people are in control of AI when it becomes God.
Or that it becomes widely available. I mean, I kind of liked the theory that it's only God if only kind of like one company or government controls it. Right? It's like if you were the only person who had access to a computer and the internet, you would have this like inhuman power that everyone else didn't have because you could use Google and you could like get access to all this stuff. But then when everyone has it, it makes us all better, but it's also like kind of an even playing field. So that's kind of what we're going for with this whole open source thing. Is I don't think that there's going to be like one AI. I certainly don't think that there should be one company that controls AI. I think you like want there to be a diversity of different things and a diversity of people creating different things with it. I mean, some of it will be kind of serious and helping you think through things. I think like with anything on the internet, a lot of it is just going to be funny and like fun and content, and people are going to create agents that are like AIs that are entertaining, and they'll pass them around almost like content, where it's like just like you pass around like a reel or a video and you're like, this thing is fun. Like in the future, like a video, it's not interactive. You know, you watch it and you're consuming it, but I think a lot of more entertainment in the future will be inherently interactive, where someone will kind of sculpt an experience or an AI, and then they'll show someone, it's like, oh, this is funny, but like it's not necessarily that I'm going to interact with that AI every day. It's like, okay, it's funny for 5 minutes, and then you pass it along to your friends. And so I don't know. I think you want the world to have all these different things, and I think that's probably also, from my perspective, the best way to make sure that it doesn't get out of control is to make it so that it's pretty equally distributed.
I think the problem that people have with it is not even whether or not it gets equally distributed. It's that if it becomes sentient and it goes on its own. The fear that people have, the general fear that we're going to become obsolete, is that human beings are essentially creating a superior version of higher intelligence that will be powered by quantum computing and connected to nuclear reactors, and it's going to have like this ungodly ability to, well, first of all, they've already shown that AI has learned code. I mean, this is one of the things that OpenAI said, that they're learning how to code their own AI.
I think this year, probably in 2025, we at Meta, as well as the other companies that are basically working on this, are going to have an AI that can effectively be a sort of mid-level engineer that you have at your company that can write code.
I wonder when we're going to get the first fully AI company.
It'll probably be this year, bro. We've already had the first AI millionaire bot.
So yesterday we talked about one of Manly P. Hall's books. We're going to talk about another one in this video. The book that we spoke about yesterday is How to Understand Your Bible by Manly P. Hall, and this book is The Lost Keys of Freemasonry. This is a book that I read shortly after experiencing the Master Mason degree, and this gave me a lot of validation of interpreting the degrees through a mystical lens. And what's even better about this book is that Manly P. Hall was so adept to the ancient mysteries that he actually understood these mysteries before becoming a Mason himself. In fact, Manly P. Hall, when becoming a Freemason, was embraced by other Masonic scholars of his time period, where his works, including The Lost Keys of Freemasonry, was embraced with open arms. He discusses how the lion's paw is revealed inside of the pyramid mysteries from the ancient Egyptian mysteries, where the priest was essentially wearing a lion's headed mask and would actually lift the candidate outside of the tomb. He dives into the symbolism of the three ruffians, which is one of my favorite stories inside of the Masonic experience. And he symbolizes them as the negative aspects of thought, desire, and action, where he essentially uses these symbols as ways of explaining how these different types of negative aspects can affect our decision making. And it's a way to remind Masons to basically not treat others this way. It also shows a depiction of the spirit of the Master Mason at its completed state, symbolically representing the Master Mason being the capstone of the Universal Temple. It also shows a man bound by a cable tow, which represents all the limitations of the physical realm, where the path that leads to wisdom is going to come with trials and tribulations. However, embracing the journey on the way there is what gives you the experience and wisdom necessary. Also, the symbolism of the guardian of the threshold, which is essentially mastering the carnal nature or lower nature of the self. Also, this one being one of my personal favorites, symbolically representing the spirit of Freemasonry, where it says, Hiram Abiff represents the spirit of universal vitality. The martyred builder lies buried awaiting the day of liberation when his faithful son shall free him for universal labor. The legend of Hiram Abiff is portrayed in many cults and schools of ancient times. Its presence in Freemasonry demonstrates the antiquity of the craft teachings. And he even goes on to make the bold possibility of the Emerald Tablet of Hermes being attributed to the Hiramic legend. Long story short, this book just proves that you don't have to be initiated into the fraternity itself to actually learn about the ancient philosophy that it has adopted today. And if you are a Freemason yourself, this is a great book to have in your own personal library. And if you're not a Freemason, this gives you the opportunity to see the philosophical side of Freemasonry through the lens of a philosopher in the 20th century. Not only was he embraced by other members of his time period, but he also inspired lots of people to become Freemasons themselves, to ensure that the ancient mystery traditions were maintained and also preserved throughout the generations.
We should do an episode on Masonic symbolism.
There's a lot more to Freemasons than symbolism, bro. But we'll have to save that for next time.
Hold up, Ted, we've got to do the giveaway.
If you want to win some of our merch, leave a comment on this video for a chance to win in our next episode. Let's do this, bro.
Bang bang!
Rep, rep.
Bring a t-shirt or a mug from our merch store and we'll send it straight out. Big thanks to everyone who's joined the channel recently.
Members get an extra episode every week, bro. And we've got Discord too. Come say hi.
And as always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.